Welcome to a bit of a new series that I'm going to start this year. I'm going to do one video every month outlining albums that I'm excited to come out for that month. So starting with, of course, January, we're going to look over how many albums? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 albums that I'm excited to see come out this month. 8 albums in 2020. You kidding me? That's so exciting. And that's starting off with Junk Food by Easy Life. Easy Life are hotly tipped to be one of the biggest bands of the year. They're on the shortlist for the BBC Sound of 2020. When I did my video about that one, the amount of people that said they love Easy Life was huge. They have a bit of a kind of hip-hop influence in the way that they deliver spoken word in a way. It's not kind of hip-hop. It's more like indie electronic with spoken word is how I would describe their music. The track Earth was the first song that I came across by them, and they're really cool. I really like the new single that they've got out as well. And their debut mixtape, not an album, mixtape comes out on Friday, and I'm just really excited to see where that goes. They've also collaborated with fellow shortlister Arlo Parks. So, just excited to hear it. This Friday that comes out, Friday the 10th, and we get our first little slice of Easy Life. Hopefully that means that we start seeing them at the festival season as well. Also coming out on Friday is the second album from Georgia entitled Seeking Thrills. So we've got a couple of tracks out from her already which have been amazing. Last year she was just huge, wasn't she? About Work the Dance Floor was amazing. That single that she's got out at the moment is just brilliant. I think it's absolutely wonderful. And I'm really excited to see where this album goes this year. She's also shortlisted on the Sound of 2020. And I think she's just a really exciting artist. I really do. I think she's really cool. So to see what that means at album 2, you know, electronic pop is where I think pop should be, and I think she's just smashing it. So Georgia also coming out on Friday, along with the second album from The Big Moon. Now the Big Moon are supporting Bombay Bicycle Club on their upcoming tour, or certainly the night that I'm seeing them at Ali Pali. That latest single of theirs, is it Pull the Other One, is it? Pull the Other One, I think, is just a wonderful record. Except it's not their latest single. It came out a long time ago, like 3 years ago. That's awkward, isn't it? But their new album is due to come out. Oh, Your Light is the latest single. That's due to come out this Friday as well. Excited to hear some music from them. I quite like them as a band, and I think that there's a bit of a hype train around them at the moment, and I'm excited to see where they go. So I would imagine you'll see them at the big festivals this year, if you will be attending any of them, but I think that it's time to join the Big Moon hype train. Going into next Friday, we have an exciting album titled Maniac coming out from Halsey. She's a really exciting pop star. I think if you're looking at big American pop stars, I don't really give a fuck about Taylor Swift, if I'm honest with you. Don't really give a fuck about Beyonce either. But Halsey is a very exciting artist. She really walks the line between pop and kind of alternative indie music. I think she does that in a really good way. I love her voice, and her songwriting skills are amazing. I think she's a really exciting artist. Lauren is a very big Halsey fan, so I would imagine that we'll both be pushing that one next Friday. That one comes out Friday the 17th. Along with Halsey, we also have the second album from the Jersey Bear. Oh, is he Guernsey? Don't want to get that wrong. I think he's Guernsey. Sorry, Muramasa and all of Guernsey. I know you hate Jersey with all of your life. But Muramasa is releasing his second album. His recent single was Slow Tie. Well, he released Doorman with Slow Tie last year, which is one of my favourite records. And then went on to release another single, Deal With It, with Slow Tie, which I just listened to just now. It's such a fun single. It's very Mike Skinner. Also kind of special-y. It reminds you of kind of like 70s British punk is the way I would describe it. He's a very exciting artist. He's a very talented producer. I've been following him for, I think, since 2015 when Beats One started, was when I first heard Sunflower, Lotus Flower and Lovesick. Obviously that went on to be sampled by A$AP Rocky, and then he went on and released his debut album, which was huge. Muramasa, exciting artist, really exciting artist. Excited to see where he takes this next album. I feel sure it's going to be a little bit more punk rock. Loved the single that he did with Clairo. That was brilliant as well. All in all, just really excited for this album. He's an exciting guy. A seriously good pop producer. But pop is so cool these days. Can be so cool. There's a lot of shit out there as well. Muramasa, also out on the 17th of January. And the final album coming out next Friday is the return of the amazing Bombay Bicycle Club. Now, I've been waiting for this album since like 2015. Must be oh no, when did they release? Bombay Bicycle Club released their debut album in 2007, 8. Let's have a look. They formed in 2005, went on to go, I think they went and won a competition on Channel 4 and then went on from there. I Had the Blues But Shook Them Loose is one of my favourite albums of all time. That came out in 2009. Highly recommend going back and listening to that if you'd like. They weren't invited to play Reading Festival in 2010, so they decided to go and perform in the campsite. They bought a ticket and went and performed in the campsite. I don't know anyone else that's ever done that, and that story isn't shared very often. But Bombay Bicycle Club did a gig in Yellow Camp on the Saturday night, Friday night after Arcade Fire, Saturday night after Arcade Fire, not Friday. They then followed that up with an acoustic album, Flaws, with the biggest song on that was Ivy and Gold. Not a record that I was particularly fussed about, but that was at the time when kind of acoustic music and folk was really strong, so I kind of see why they did it. They then followed that with a different kind of fix in 2011. Their biggest single off that was Shuffle, which was just a massive record, and they obviously released loads of wonderful other songs on that album. That one I didn't listen to as much. Lauren, big fan. And then they released their last album in 2014, So Long See You Tomorrow, which is a motherfucking monster of a record. If you love indie, if you like jazz, if you like hip hop, if you like sample-based music, if you like songwriting, if you like piano, if you like guitar, if you like brass sections, if you like carnival, that album is amazing. It's so good. Every song on it is absolutely fantastic. But it's been 6 years since they released anything. Obviously, Jack Stedman went off and did the Mr. Jukes project, which was absolutely brilliant. I absolutely loved that. But they haven't done anything since then until about September the 5th, when they released Eat, Sleep, Wake, Nothing But You. And, oh man, that record I must have listened to 100 times last year. It's so good. It's such a great record. And then they followed that up with the single Everything Else Has Gone Wrong, which of course is the title of the new album. And they've just released another record, which I haven't listened to yet. But next Friday we get our return from Bombay Bicycle Club. The first time in 6 years. They're touring later this year. I'm seeing them at Ali Pali, supported by the Big Moon. Thoroughly exciting time to be a Bombay Bicycle Club fan. Thoroughly exciting. And we have 2 more albums, both coming out on January 31st. The first one is Hurry Up and Wait by Australian punk rockers Dune Rats. I've never really listened to Dune Rats, but they have a massive following in Australia. And I think sometimes to join a hype train, you need to join it at their current album. They're releasing something new there. Hopefully that means they might play some festivals over here. That would be really exciting. But if you're a fan of like Fiddler or Idols or Swimmers or any of those kind of punk rockers, then Dune Rats are going to be the one for you to check out. That comes out on the 31st of January. I will certainly be listening to it at least once or twice anyway. And the last album is Foolish Love Spaces, the third album from Blossoms, Stockport's Blossoms. They had such a massive start with their first album, going and releasing singles like Charlemagne, which was huge. And then the second album, Cool Like You, featured records There's a Reason Why, which is a great record. Didn't like the album as much, but a lot of people did. I'm not a massive fan of Blossoms, but 3 albums and the hype that they've got means I should pay more attention to them, I think. So 31st of January, their third album is coming out. Hell, that may mean that they could go on to headline next year if they've got a good enough following for it. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't think they have, but I think they're a cool band regardless. What do you think? Are there any other albums coming out in January that you're excited to see? We will do another one of these videos at the end of January for February, and we'll do another one at the end of February for March, so on and so forth. Something exciting just to kind of round up what we're excited to see and what listen to and talk about. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.